Hi, it's Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky, and I'm back with my plans and pans. Last week, I began talking to you about Social Security and the ongoing efforts, I'm talking about decades, and certainly as long as I've been in Congress, of efforts by Republicans and Republican presidents to try and undo Social Security. I was there when George W. Bush tried to privatize it, but that didn't really work. And now we're seeing a number of senators and members of the House trying to squeeze out of the accusations that are true that they want to undo Social Security in the most serious of ways. Well, last week I introduced the Social Security Expansion Act, and what it does, among other things, it would add $200 a month to the basic Social Security benefit. Yes, Social Security has been a godsend for so many people, but it's also very, very modest. And let's remember that the money that you get from Social Security when you're 65 and older is money that you have paid every month or maybe every 2 weeks from your wages. You paid for Social Security. So in addition to adding another $200 a month, it also says that Social Security, we assure in this legislation, that it will last for another 75 years. We want to make sure that the solvency is protected. And we want to make sure that people who make $250,000 or less don't pay any more in taxes. But we do want to make sure that, for example, someone who makes $32 million on Wall Street or some big corporate leader is going to have to pay more, because right now he is paying exactly the amount of money that someone who is making $160,000 a year into Social Security. We want to make sure that millionaires and even billionaires pay their fair share. That will help Social Security. I want to say that I introduced this legislation along with Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and Val Hoyle, who is a new member from Oregon. We are the co-sponsor of the legislation. I expect we're going to get a lot of co-sponsors to make sure that Social Security is where it needs to be for another 75 years. I also talked to you about Medicare Advantage programs. Medicare Advantage is not Medicare. It is private insurance. And so I introduced the Save Medicare Act, which actually says that Medicare Advantage can't use the word Medicare in its advertising, in its promotion of itself on television or in any other way. Now, this week, I got a letter signed by 70 of my colleagues to the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, that's CMS, and ask them to do more to protect people from some of the abuses of Medicare Advantage. Now, I know that 48% right now of people eligible for Medicare are now signed up for Medicare Advantage. But I want to tell you, there are definitely some problems there. Our letter says that $46 billion in overpayments to Medicare Advantage were taken away, that Medicare itself could afford to provide eye care, dental care, and hearing care with that money that would be saved from these private insurance companies that call themselves Medicare Advantage. So we sent this letter, and we are hoping very much that CMS is going to take action. In the meantime, I also do have the legislation, and we are building momentum to tell the truth about Medicare Advantage and make sure that consumers, that seniors, and that the government itself is not being ripped off by these companies. I want to talk to you about something that I've been really focused on for many years now in the Congress, and that is nursing home care. Right now, private equity, that is private corporations, private industry, is getting into the field of running nursing homes. One of the things that CMS, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, is looking into, and I'm very happy about, is the role of private equity, these investors in nursing homes. And what they are going to require is that all nursing homes have to reveal to the government, to CMS, ownership, so that it is very clear who is really running and taking money from running nursing homes. Yes, there are still some not-for-profit nursing homes, but not very many. And more it's going into the hands of these private equity companies. I have actually introduced a while ago a bill called the Link Bill that would require that information about ownership to be provided so that it would be available actually to everyone. Those that were owned by these private equity companies actually had more deaths than other nursing homes in them. So it's about quality, it's about cost, it's about making sure that our loved ones who are in nursing homes get the care that they need at the price that is sensible. This week, I went out to Morton Grove, which actually is about 1/3 Asian right now, and went on a tour about small businesses throughout the community. There were a couple of wonderful women from the White House, Crystal Kai and Erica Maratsugo, and they have very high positions within the administration to deal with issues that affect the Asian community. Also with us was Jerry Aglape, who is the regional director of the Small Business Administration, and also Morton Grove Mayor Dan DeMaria. He's a great guy, and he wanted to take us into Morton Grove and visit some of the small businesses. So we were able to visit a place called Health Kick, which is a really fabulous store that's been there for about 30 years, and it provides clothing and supplements, all dealing with health, a beautiful store. It could always use some help, and so having the Small Business Administration there, I think, can offer some advice down the road. We also were at an incredible tailor store. We also went to Boba Burger, an incredibly popular restaurant. It is owned by a Vietnamese family, the two sons and the father who work there. One of the things they're having trouble with is hiring. They really need to have more staff. I talked to the youngest of the brothers, and he told me that he has 5 days a year that he is off of work, basically working almost 13 hours a day every single day. I was happy to hear that he said he did have time to get engaged. And he said that his wife-to-be really understands the hard work that he does. But what I realized is that a lot of these small businesses in my district really don't understand what is available to them from the Small Business Administration. Certainly not just the Asian community, but small businesses throughout the district. And so I am looking forward to working with my staff to make sure that we provide that information to the small businesses so that they can do even better than they are. I think I told you that I was able, through the community funding projects, to bring over $26 million to the 9th Congressional District for various not-for-profit and government agencies. And so we're beginning to take applications next month, probably at the end of March, for not-for-profits and government entities that are looking to get help. This week I met with the Music Institute of Chicago, a fantastic organization that helps young people and adults with music. I also met with the Community Counselor Center of Chicago. We call it the 4 C's, a wonderful organization that provides mental health services throughout the community. You know the great need for mental health services. Everyone knows about that. In addition, I did talk to the Chicago Abortion Fund that is doing a terrific job providing services and support for people in the Chicago area, in the 9th Congressional District, who are needing help in getting access to abortions. As you know, in the state of Illinois, abortion services are legal. But we're also seeing people coming from all states around us, even faraway states like Texas, coming for help. And the Chicago Abortion Fund does a good job in helping to provide those services. So it's been really interesting for me to meet with constituents, to be able to meet with organizations, and to just get around the great 9th Congressional District. We'll also be heading to Washington at the beginning of next week, and I'll have plenty to report to you after that. See you then. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, where my handle is @Jan Schakowsky.